Welcome to Real Talk Real Women. My name is Miriam Khalladi and today we have fitness athlete Diana Chaloux from Kansas City on the show. Hi Diana, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
I'm fine, thank you so much for your time.
No problem. No problem.
2005, you were 175 pounds. Fast forward to today. You are in a fantastic shape and are helping others go through similar transformations. Tell us what happened.
For me, I had what I like to say it was kind of my aha moment where, and it literally was like a light bulb just kind of went off in my head. I was always active and I was always into like fitness and I liked the gym. And what happened in 2004, I got a job on a cruise ship and I was actually the fitness director on the cruise ship. But I was eating terrible food. I mean, it tasted good, but I was eating tons of bad food, and and I was drinking, and I gained a lot of weight, and I was very uncomfortable in my own skin. I was very self-conscious. I had never felt that was the heaviest I'd been in my life, and I hated it. I was very insecure. I found even with like romantic relationships, I found myself even just very insecure in me, and not making the best choices as far as who I was dating because I didn't feel good about who I was. And I got off the cruise ship, and there was one day on the ship where I stepped on the scale and it went up into the 170s, and I like jumped off. I was like, this can't be, because I had always thought, oh, I'm working out all the time, I'm teaching all these classes, I can eat whatever I want. I was still in that mentality, and I didn't know anything about nutrition. I was a trainer, as many trainers are now, but I never had learned about the nutrition side of things. So that was, I was eating completely wrong, and it was obviously catching up with me. But my little sister saw me right after I got off the cruise ship, and she hadn't seen me for almost a year, and her face was just like, like just, she didn't even recognize me, and that was like, oh man, like what have I done? Like my little sister, like, doesn't even recognize me. So I started making some good changes at that point, and I actually moved to Texas shortly after that. And I had always just loved the fitness girls, the figure competitors, the fitness models. I had Oxygen magazine like plastered all over my walls, and I was like, man, someday that's going to be me. I want to be one of those girls. And I had someone come up to me one day, and they were just like, hey, Diana, you keep talking about this all the time. What are you waiting for? And I was literally like, I have no idea. Like, what? I'm just making excuses. I just make excuses every single day. And I was so sick of making excuses about why I wasn't doing it yet. I literally signed up for my first show that day. I started learning about nutrition that day. I committed 100%. I changed my eating habits that day. And then 18 weeks later, I had lost 40 pounds, and I did my first figure competition in Texas. And I won first place, and I was like, this is it, like this is my calling, this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and I literally haven't turned back since. It's been just amazing. But finally for me, it was just that moment of no more excuses. I'm just so sick of it. I can do it. I have everything it takes to do it. I'm just going to do it.
Wow, great. You're the co-owner of HitchFit. What does that stand for, and what is your mission?
Well, HitchFit is, the name comes from my husband, Micah, is back years ago when MySpace was like the popular social network. His nickname on MySpace was Hitch for the movie. There was a movie with Will Smith in it called Hitch, and where he hooked people up and they got married. Micah had introduced a couple of people that ended up marrying each other. So everybody started calling him Hitch for that reason. When I met him, because he would send me little messages on MySpace like, hey, how you doing? It wasn't that baby too bad, but a little bit. And I only knew him as Hitch at that point. So when one day he wrote from Micah, I was like, who's this Micah guy? Oh, it's that Hitch guy. So that's where the Hitch came from. And then when we met and found we had just so much in common, and then we also had a romantic connection, and Hitch Fit just seemed like, that it just seemed a perfect evolution of what he'd been doing and then us coming together. So that's where the name came from. HitchFit, we, obviously part of it is personal training, but we really consider it a lifestyle transformation program, because it always has to start in someone's mind. Like, I can tell somebody, eat this, do this for your training, but if their mind isn't in the right place, if they're still in that place of making excuses or telling themselves a story about, I can't do it, I have this and I have that and I have the other thing, so for me it's impossible. If they're still telling themselves that, then they're never going to get there. So it's really about helping people change their minds, helping them believe in themselves, and then giving them the tools that they need as far as the nutrition, the workouts, and just the general things that you need to be living on a daily basis in order to get to a healthy place and a happy place and a self-confident place. Like, these people are walking around and they just are upset and unhappy with their lives, and it's controllable.
Wow, you're doing a great job.
Oh, well, it's awesome. We get to do what we absolutely love every day, and to get messages from these people and they're just like, thank you, and this is how I'm feeling now, and to see them day one, how they are and how they're feeling, and how they send me before pictures and they're all like, gross, ew, I can't believe you're looking at these, and then when they get to the end and they're like just proud, and you don't even have to say a word. You can see it in their pictures. You can see them just glowing, and it comes from the inside out. So to be a part of that positive process it's what drives us, it's what fuels us, it's what makes us happy. So I love it.
Oh, great. How important are the people around you when it comes to your success?
I think they're, very important. I mean, I've been extremely blessed with a husband that loves me, for everything that I am, and I feel exactly the same about him. And to be able to have him there with me every single day. I mean, we're together like most days all day. Like, most couples may not be able to do that, but we just believe so much in the same things, and we're so passionate about doing the same things. So we really feed each other. Like, sometimes we're tired, one is tired, the other is tired, but to always be there to help pick each other up is so important. And I have also an amazing family that has been there to support. They thought I was crazy for a while, for sure. They still think I'm crazy, but they have just loved me, and anything that I've been out there doing, they're like, okay, well, there she goes. She's, going and doing that again. But always had my back, always supported me, loved me no matter what. And I mean, I am incredibly blessed for that, because I know a lot of people don't have that support system. So it's been amazing for me to have that.
On your website, you state that you focus on not just physical transformation, but life transformation. What do you mean by life transformation?
Well, a physical transformation would just be losing weight. That would just be, I lost 30 pounds, I lost 40 pounds. But when we say it's a lifestyle, it's a lifestyle transformation. For one, because I'm not interested in just losing weight, or just losing weight for a period of time and then gaining it back. So much of what's thrown out there at people right now is, do this program and do this program and do this diet and try this, and okay, so I'm going to do this for 12 weeks and then I'm going to go back to doing exactly what I was doing before. When you do that, your body is going to go exactly back to what it was before. You're going to go back to feeling exactly what it was that you were feeling before. So if you're not embracing it as a change, like, from now on, I'm going to be making healthy eating choices. From now on, I'm going to be incorporating regular exercise into my lifestyle. If they're just thinking it's just this little quick fix and then I can go back to, eating pizza every night and ice cream and whatever, it doesn't last. And what good is it if it doesn't last? It's great for 12 weeks. What about for the next 10 years of your life? So that's why we call it a lifestyle transformation, because I drill it into people's heads. And you can ask our clients, it's like, as soon as I get a hint of them saying something that I'm like, they're still thinking of this as my diet. This is my diet that I'm doing for this period of time. And I'm like, whoa, hold the phone, because you have to get it in your head This isn't just, I'll just do this now. Like, you literally have to learn this so that you can incorporate these habits for the rest of your life. You know, that's the only way that it works, is if it's a lifestyle.
I agree. Yeah. How important is forming new habits in this transformation, and how do you go about this with your clients?
It's incredibly important. I think it varies per person, because I work with everything from girls that are competing for their pro cards as fitness models or figure competitors, and then I also have women who are 5'3" and 300 pounds who are morbidly obese, and for them, so on one hand, I have a client that's literally eating fast food all day. On the other hand, I have a girl who's really healthy already, or already very lean, and she's just trying to take things to another level to build a career for herself. So that girl, the competitor girl, obviously it's more for her. It's a matter of tightening up her habits, tweaking things a little bit, but it's probably not going to be a shock to her system like when I'm taking on a woman who is literally probably not had a healthy meal for years. For that woman, it's incredibly important because it can literally be life or death in that situation. If they don't make change, they're going to die of a heart attack, or a lot of situations they already have diabetes or high cholesterol or high blood pressure. So for that woman, it's just incredibly important. She's got to want it, and she's got to just do it and throw the excuses away. And then we have a lot of the people that are in that middle range, in that anywhere from 25 to 50 pounds. So for them, it's not about life and death, but it's about they have to be motivated enough to want that change in order to do it on a daily basis. How we implement the habits, I find what works best is you lay it out for them. Here's what you've got to eat, when to eat it, how much of it to eat. Here's the plans we put together. It's very like, here's what I need you to do, here's the days I need you to do it. You make it clear cut and easy for them. It's also very educational. It's the why you're doing this, teaching them you don't just have to eat this every day. Here's how you can change up your foods and choose different things and find combinations that you like. So what I found, that works really well, to just give them, here's the plan. A lot of people are just comfortable when you're like, here, do this, as opposed to trying to figure out what to do, because there's so many mixed messages. And then the accountability factor, as far as being able to email, we ask our online clients to email us once per week and tell us how they did, what their numbers are. So that's been really powerful when they know, okay, I better make this choice, because if I don't, man, I'm going to have to write to Diana at the end of the week and tell her, oh, well, I had some cookies here, and so I found that really helps. And once they get in the groove, which is in a couple of weeks usually, it just starts becoming normal. And when they start feeling better and they're going to the store and they're able to fit into clothes that they couldn't fit into before, that's the stuff that keeps them motivated. So initially it's just kind of forcing yourself into this new zone of doing things. And then once they get the flow, it's just like, man, why did I wait so long?
You're fighting against the obesity epidemic. How serious is that epidemic, and what needs to change to stop it?
Oh, it's bad. And it's not just here in the States. It's a global epidemic at this point. And I think what's even scarier is there's the overweight. People being overweight is a big problem. It's like 60-70% of the population is overweight, but those obesity numbers are climbing and climbing still every year, even with all the information that's out there and people knowing that they're doing this to themselves essentially. It's 30-40%. Here in Missouri, in Kansas City I think we're number 6 obesity wise in the United States as far as fattest cities. And it's terrible. It's terrible to see. The worst part, I think, is the children. It's these kids. And I think when I was 7 or 8 years old, and I didn't eat perfect, I had mac and cheese and I had some fish sticks and but I was outside, I was playing, I was active. I mean, it wasn't a day I wasn't climbing a tree or riding my bike or running around somewhere. And so to see these kids that are already at that age self-conscious and feeling not, they feel uncomfortable in their own skin, it's just absolutely heartbreaking. I think the number one thing it has to be for adults and for children, well, for adults mainly, is the personal responsibility. I think it's too much of a habit right now to point fingers. It's the fast food restaurants, it's this, it's that, it's this. End of the day, it's you have to make the choices for you. It doesn't matter if there's 10 fast food restaurants on your drive. It's your choice to stop and to go there and to eat that food or whatever it is. It's your choice to get out and go for a walk, or if you live in an unsafe neighborhood, stand in your living room and do jumping jacks or dance, or there's always things that can be done. So I think it just starts with taking back personal responsibility and stopping trying to look everywhere else to place blame, because we've all got 24 hours in a day. So it's a matter of what's important to me and what am I going to choose to do in this 24 hours. With the kids, it has to start at home. The kids are mimicking the behavior they're seeing from their parents, and who's buying the food for the kids? I mean, they can try to blame schools, they can try to blame this or that, but ultimately that parent has to teach that kid good habits at home. So it's a big, big problem, and I mean, even if we can help a little bit or make people think a little bit more about what they're doing, then that's got to just try to do the best we can do.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Tell us about your greatest success story this far.
Oh. Oh, let's see. I think for me, my greatest success, I mean, there's been the fun things, winning shows and competitions and that side of thing. I think overall, I feel like my biggest success is just creating an environment that I'm really happy in. And I mean, sometimes I look at my life and I'm like, man, this is just, not that there's not trouble, because there's always some troubles, but I'm like, man, I feel so blessed, and I feel like just so grateful that I get to live the life that I live. And I get to, I have a man that I just love to pieces, and he feels the same way. And like I said, my family, and just, I got 2 crazy cats that are just insane. And the clients and the gym and the trainers that we have, and it's just like, I just feel blessed. And I think that's the biggest success, is getting to a point where I just am really happy with things. And there's been a lot of cool moments, and and I'm extremely grateful for all those, but I think a lot of that is built to just create a nice life that I feel is positive.
You've also written a cookbook. There are many thousands of cookbooks. What makes yours different?
I think with the cookbook, it's I tried to make it educational too, and that's what the feedback that I've gotten from the cookbook is that people appreciate that the first couple of chapters I actually just talk about nutrition, and I talk about my theories on nutrition and the staples of a healthy diet, and the difference between eating when you're in transformation and then eating when you get to where you want to be, and then you're just maintaining and enjoying a little more. So I think that's one of the main separating factors. And then it's just, it's got a lot of, I use all of the foods that I consider the staples of a healthy diet in there, and I tried to give a good amount of variety and included some of Micah and I's favorite little recipes that we eat on a regular basis. So I was really excited, because anytime you put anything out there that's so, it's personal, like these books are like, they come from my heart, and so I'm always like, I hope people like it. And so far it's gotten really great response, and I actually have my next book. I'm waiting on the proof now. It should be here in a couple days. I just have to proof it. And this one's even more personal. It's 365 days of it's kind of like a daily devotion, but it's each day is something about either nutrition or fitness or spiritual health or mental health or emotional health. So each day is just a little thing, and you can write some little notes and journal it. And so that one, it'll be out soon, but I'm like, oh goodness, this is really like pouring my guts out on the pages here. But we'll see.
Oh, great. What are the 3 most important things in your life and why?
Oh, I would say my faith is number 1. There's nothing like God has, put me in this place, and I'm extremely grateful for that. So that's always number 1. My family comes next, my husband and my parents, my sisters, my nieces, and then fitness would be 3rd, because that's what I feel is my passion and what I'm led to do on a daily basis. And so those are the top 3, always in that order.
Great. Many of our viewers are extremely inspired by the amazing women who come on the show, but some of them are also close to giving up, feeling they have already tried everything out there. What advice would you give them?
I would say you never give up, because in life you're going to get knocked down, and you're going to get knocked down again and again, and the people that ultimately are successful are the ones that just keep getting up. I mean, people like to look at our lives and they think, oh, it's been this perfect, happy-go-lucky little life, and it hasn't been like that. I can't tell you, and I don't put that stuff out there because I'm grateful for every time we've gotten knocked down, because all it did was make us stronger for the future. So there's a lesson in everything, even the toughest things. There's always a lesson. There's always something that you can learn, but just don't ever quit, and don't ever stop trying, because the next step of you getting to where you want to be, it may be you just got to get up one more time. So just don't ever quit. There's, that's the key to success, is just always getting up.
I agree, yeah. Well, Diana, it was an absolute honor to have you on my show.
Well, thank you for having me. That was fun.
You're most welcome. Where can viewers go to learn more about you?
The best site would be to go to www.hitchfit.com, and you can also look me up. We're on Facebook and Twitter and any and every social network there is, Pinterest and YouTube. But we're very interactive with people on the site, so I encourage anybody, if you've got questions, feel free to write to me, and I'll always get back to you as soon as I can.
Okay, I will make sure to put all the links below this video.
Awesome.
Is there anything else you feel we've missed that you would like to cover today?
Oh, I don't think so. I think I said a lot, but I want to thank you for your time. It was it was a very great interview, and it's great talking to you.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much. My name is Miriam Khalladi, and I will see you in the next episode of Real Talk, Real Women.